What up, guys? It is time, finally, for my 2020 NHL full playoff predictions. The playoffs start tomorrow, doing predictions today. I'm hoping I can post it tonight, if not tomorrow morning, before the Rangers Hurricane game at 9 a.m. my time, which is Pacific time. Yeah, guys, before we get into my predictions, make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. A lot more NHL videos will be coming very soon. I might do a series or a day recap, rather, on every single day of hockey. So, yeah, that could be coming, tomorrow, really. And, yeah, guys, let's get into it. Okay, so first we need to lay some ground rules. So, what will happen is I will be going full on in depth on the round robin games, which is the top four teams in the West and East, and I'll be going full on in depth in the play in round qualifying games. But then on that point, it's going to be, rapid fire, because this video could be very long, as well as the fact is, as if I get one round robin game wrong, one seeding wrong, or one qualification game wrong, it just messes up everything. So I'll go full in depth on the games that are gonna happen for sure, and I'll still predict the rest of the playoffs, but I won't just go full on, in depth as I would in the qualification round. Although once the actual playoffs start, when there's 16 teams left, I will do another bracket challenge, another playoff prediction, going full on in depth on every single team's series. So yeah, guys, I will be predicting a Stanley Cup winner here, and I will be predicting another Stanley Cup winner, and maybe the same, in about a week or two's time whenever the qualification series ends. Without further ado, let's get into it. So we will start with the West in the top four teams who will be playing in a round robin group. For those of you who watch soccer, like a World Cup group, where each team plays the other team once, so they have a total of 3 games, and the team with the most points is first, team with the least is fourth. So obviously the team in first place will play the worst seeded team coming out of the qualification round, and so on and so on. So the teams consisting in this group are as followed: St. Louis, Vegas, Dallas, and Colorado, in no particular order. And now I will do my predictions on first place, second, third, and fourth. Okay, so in first place I got the Colorado Avalanche. Second place I got the St. Louis Blues. Third place, I got the Dallas Stars, and in fourth place, I got the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, the reason I chose Colorado to win this group is I just think they're best, they're the most suitable to win just one game against each of these teams, as they have the star power. Yeah, the goaltending, the name might not be there. It's no Carey Price, it's no Vasilevsky, it's no Carter Hart, but steady goaltending, pretty good defense with Cale Makar, and amazing offense. Obviously, this group is a toss-up. All teams are great. I just got Colorado first, and I got St. Louis second, as obviously defending Cup champions. They could very well win this group. I just think Colorado beat them in a really good game, maybe a 3-2 game, 4-3 game. Then we got Dallas third. I think this is the year that they're really trying to win the Cup. So, it's going to be very close games in this group, and Bishop might, win one game for them, not perform the next game as well, or the team might not show up for him like last year. So I got them third. Then we got Vegas last in the group. Nothing to be ashamed of. They're still top 4. And I just got them 4 because, I don't know, a lot of people have them, really doing really well. And, not trying to cause any spoilers here, but I'm not all for Vegas. I know Fleury's there, but at the end of the day, I'm just not all for Vegas, but we've seen what they've done. Definitely won't be surprised if they shock everyone again, or at least shock myself. We will move on to the other round robin group in the East, consisting of these 4 teams: the Philadelphia Flyers, the Boston Bruins, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Washington Capitals. This group is also very, very tough. I've switched my mind a lot of times, saying who's first, who's going to be last, but I still had to do it, so here it is. In first place, I got the Boston Bruins. Second place, I got the Philadelphia Flyers. Third place, the Tampa Bay Lightning. And fourth place, the Washington Capitals. Now, my reasoning for having Boston first is just because they were the front runners to win the President's Trophy And, they're obviously a solid team. They're going to want their revenge from last year. So I just think they beat each of these three teams, or maybe they lose in overtime in one of them. I believe these games are going to overtime. And yeah, I just have them going first. Then we got Philly second, and they're on a tear. Everyone knows that. But with the 4 or 5 month break, they can lose their momentum. Yet, I still think, they're not going to get exponentially worse. So I have them being in the average in the group, so second. But I could see them doing better and even worse. It's a very open group. Third place, I got the Tampa Bay Lightning. And once again, I think they're going to do okay in this division. Might lose one, win one. Might lose one in overtime, win the other in overtime. I don't know, whatever. And, they're kind of disappointing at the beginning of the year. And then they really got better, and they almost caught up to Boston. If it wasn't for the pause, maybe they would have became President's Trophy winners again. But we've seen what happens when they did become one of the best teams in the NHL. They got swept by Columbus, so Tampa Bay is really a wild card team. They could do amazing or they could do horrible. But I guess that's these playoff predictions. Finally, we got the Washington Caps. These guys just got Ilya Kovalchuk, which is a great addition. But, Holtby, I don't know if he'll be performing to the best of his abilities. He hasn't been as of late. A lot of people think he's going to end up on the Kraken. So, goaltending is the biggest thing in the playoffs, without a doubt. And if they don't have a good goalie, no disrespect to Holtby, but that's just what people are saying. And that's kind of what I think. Holtby won't deliver as much as they want. But with names like Kovalchuk, Backstrom, and Ovechkin, they could do damage, especially on a power play. So watch out for them. But in this, group, I got them last. Right, now let's get to the NHL Stanley Cup qualifiers, the play-in round. So we will continue with the East, and the first matchup we got is number 5 Pittsburgh Penguins versus number 12 seed Montreal Canadiens. And I think for a lot of people, they all got the Penguins. It's kind of a no-brainer. I know Carey Price is a net, and if any goalie were to, pull off this upset, he would be in the conversation to do so. I just think Montreal does not have the team to beat Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is back, Jake Gensel is back, and their core with Crosby and Malkin and Murray, they're all rested, so I think they'll be very dangerous. And I actually think they sweep the Canadiens. I was going to say before, Price and the Canadiens and Weber, they sneak a game in there, but I just don't see them winning a game against Pittsburgh, in a 5-game series. So Pittsburgh in 3. Next up, we got a really compelling matchup between the number 6 ranked Carolina Hurricanes versus the number 11 ranked New York Rangers. And I have been going back and forth for this, for weeks now. I've been saying Carolina in 4 or in 5, Rangers in 4 or in 5. But my final prediction is the Carolina Hurricanes in 5 games. A lot of people are actually picking the Rangers, so it's not really becoming much of an upset anymore, as I feel like it's kind of 50-50 between the two. And initially, right before this video, I thought Rangers, and it's just, Igor Shesterkin, if I'm saying that right, or if I'm saying that wrong, forgive me, but he is playing good, and he's probably going to start over Lundqvist. The team is doing well with Panarin and such, but Carolina, they just have a better team, I believe, and although they didn't perform to what people wanted them to, I still think they'll turn it up in the playoffs, so it'll be a really tight, good series, but I say the Hurricanes in 5. The number 7th ranked Islanders versus the number 10 ranked Panthers, and no disrespect to the two teams or the franchises if Florida has one, but I'm not really looking forward to this matchup compared to the others, and that's just how it is. Maybe a lot of people are like that. There's also one matchup in the West, if you guys can guess, which I'm not really looking forward to as much as the others. But anyway, get back to this series. My prediction is I have the New York Islanders winning this in 5 games. So the Islanders just have a good team and they have a great coach. That's really what it is. And I think, they will adapt to what happens. And then we have the Panthers, who a lot of people before the season started thought they were going to do good. And I just don't think they have, the it factor, not as a player, but as a team to get the job done yet. And this might be the turning point where they just go off in the playoffs and make it super far, maybe even win. But this is the biggest, turning point for them. If they get past the Islanders, teams are going to be scared of them. If not, it's just another letdown. And sadly for Panther fans, once again, if there are any, you guys will lose in the qualifying round in 5 games to the New York Islanders. In the East, we got the number 8th ranked Toronto Maple Leafs versus the number 9th ranked Columbus Blue Jackets, a matchup I'm really looking forward to, and I think the whole hockey world is. And once again, this matchup, 50-50 between a lot of people. If you just say Toronto versus Columbus, you think, okay, Toronto has got more star power, but Columbus is a team. Everyone is forgetting they beat Tampa Bay last year, and yes, they did lose core players, but look how they're playing this year. Elvis Merzlikins, he is playing amazing. And they just got core players that have players before that were okay who have turned into core players now. And they have just been, they've been gelling really well together. They were 9th by points average. And then we got the Leafs. Star power up front. Anderson will he play good, will he not? Then we got the defense, who is debatably good, I guess. Debatably, is that a word? I don't know, whatever. With Morgan Riley and such. But for the moment you guys have been waiting for, my prediction is the Toronto Maple Leafs in 5 games. And I think Columbus wins 2, but I just think Toronto's too much for them to handle. Elvis Merzlikins almost gets the job done, but not quite, and the Leafs move on to round 1. So technically, they still haven't won a playoff series for a very long time. And now we go to the West, featuring the first matchup, the number 5 ranked Oilers versus the number 12 ranked Chicago Blackhawks. A really compelling matchup. And I believe game 1 is Saturday, so tomorrow. Or maybe if I post this on Saturday, it'll be today for you guys. And it's going to be 12 o'clock my time, 3 p.m. Eastern. So, watch that game without a doubt. In my opinion, it'll be a great, entertaining series. But I have the Oilers ultimately winning it in 5 games. I just think they're a better balanced team, and I think McDavid and Draisaitl with rest in the playoffs. You see what they did a couple years ago. They actually played good against the Sharks and the Ducks. If they didn't have that crazy downfall in Game 5 against the Ducks, maybe they could have been in the Cup final. We don't know. But yeah, with not dwelling on the past, I think Chicago is a good team. I just think they'll be good enough to win 2, but not just to. I just don't think they'll win the series. Crawford is up in the air whether he'll play or not, and they will definitely not win with Malcolm Subban. No disrespect, but that's just the way it is. And Edmonton is just a better balanced team. So Oilers in 5. Looking at this, I got a lot of Game 5. If it goes like that, it's gonna be one hell of a playoffs. At least the first couple weeks. But without further ado, let's get into our second matchup in the West. And this was the matchup where I'm also not looking forward to it as much as the others. It is the number 6 ranked Nashville Predators versus number 11th ranked Arizona Coyotes. And I got the Predators winning this one in 4 games, so we don't have another 5-game series. And I just think a big factor in this is the Arizona Coyotes' morale might be really down. Their GM, I don't know if you want to say he quit on them, but that's what the team is saying. So a lot of drama may be going on behind the scenes. And yeah, Nashville, a lot of people are saying this is their cup contender window. It's closing. I think it already may have closed last season, but I still have them, going a little far, at least to the first round of the playoffs. So they beat the Coyotes in 4. Now we move on to my favorite team, the Vancouver Canucks versus the Minnesota Wild in a 7 versus 10 matchup. And in this series, I got the Canucks winning in 4. And for those of you who watch, I obviously watch my team. So I watched the exhibition game between the Jets. And yeah, if you look at the scoreboard, you might say, all right, Jets dominated. But Canucks had a very, very good first period. They created so many chances, but Hellebuck just stood on his head. And at the end of the game, I believe Canucks had 38 shots. So on Dubnyk or Stalock, whoever plays, I believe, instead of getting that 1 goal, that will turn into maybe 3 or 4, 2 if anything. Because Dubnyk and Stalock are not as good as Hellebuck, and that's just the truth. So I got the Canucks winning in 4. It's really a matchup of experience versus youth Although the biggest difference is the youth is exceptional talent, and absolutely no disrespect to Minnesota, but the experience is not experience where it's Chicago experience, where you've won multiple cups and made it to the finals, conference finals. This is experience where you've been a semi-decent team for the last, it feels like, decade, where they've been the 9th, 8th, 7th seed, made it to the first or second round, but nothing further than that. So that's why Minnesota just doesn't have it in them, I don't think. In a 5-game series, they don't beat Markstrom 3 times. And yeah, I got the Canucks winning in 4. And finally, to finish off the qualification round, we got a very good series, an all-Canadian matchup between the number 8th ranked Calgary Flames versus the number 9th ranked Winnipeg Jets. And this series I'm really looking forward to because the teams are so evenly matched in the offense and defense category. But as I said earlier on in the video, goaltending is the biggest thing, which is why I'm giving this series to Winnipeg in 4 games. Calgary sneaks 1 past them, but Hellebuck just plays too good. And maybe he wears out later in the playoffs, maybe not, but I just think with the 4-month rest, and only 5 games maximum, he plays amazing as he is a front runner for the Vezina, most likely. And Calgary, they're a loss of the coach. They got whooped by Colorado last year after a great regular season. And this year, they just haven't played up to expectations. So I got Winnipeg winning in 4. So yeah, guys, those are my in-depth predictions. Now we go to the bracket, where this will be quick-fire predictions on the road to the Stanley Cup winner. Now we are here on the bracket I made on my whiteboard. Sorry, we're on the ghetto side of YouTube, I guess. But anyway, here's the bracket. So we got Boston, Toronto. Totally did not plan for that. Philadelphia and the Islanders. Tampa Bay and the Hurricanes. And Washington versus the Penguins once again, but this time in the first round. So really good Eastern Conference matchup. West, we got the Avalanche versus the Jets, the Blues versus the Canucks, the Stars versus the Predators, and the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Edmonton Oilers. Okay, so I have the Boston Bruins beating the Toronto Maple Leafs in 6 games. Sorry, Leaf fans. Maybe 7 would be worse, but Boston's beating y'all, I think, again. But I could see Toronto, getting it done. Then we got the Flyers, the Islanders. I have the Flyers getting it done. They're going to be on a roll. Lightning, Hurricanes. I see the Lightning getting it done. Hurricanes might get a couple games, but Lightning too strong. And then to finish off, we got the Capitals and the Penguins in a hard-fought series. I got the Penguins in 7. Oh, yeah, not to mention I got the Lightning in 6. And the Flyers in 5. Colorado-Winnipeg series, I see it being a good series. I think Winnipeg wins 2 games, but Colorado gets it done in 6. St. Louis, Vancouver, there needs to be an upset in these playoffs. It's bound to happen, and here it will happen. I know it might sound like I'm being biased, and low-key I probably am, but the Canucks, with all their rookies rested after a 4-game series, I think they'll be rested enough, not played as many games, to be injured and tired. Hughes, Pettersson, Besser will light up the Blues. Obviously Blues will get a couple in there. It will be a 7-game series. Canucks get it done. Big shocker here. They get out the defending Cup champions. Then we got the Stars and the Predators. I have the Stars winning in 7 games, so Nashville, takes it pretty far. Then we have the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Edmonton Oilers. I have the Edmonton Oilers winning this one, another away team, in 6 games. Okay, so there are Eastern Conference matchups. We got Boston playing Pittsburgh, Philadelphia playing Tampa Bay. There's another, it's not a bracket, as you guys know, so they base it off the best team from the East playing the worst team, seeding-wise. So Boston would play Pittsburgh, Philly, Tampa, some great-looking games there, great-looking series. And then in the West, a lot of people probably don't have this. I thought, let's get something different. And upsets are bound to happen. So we got the Colorado Avalanche versus the Vancouver Canucks and the Dallas Stars versus the Edmonton Oilers. Okay, so Boston Bruins, Pittsburgh Penguins. I have the Pittsburgh Penguins. They beat the Boston Bruins in 7 games, hard-fought series. Philadelphia Flyers, Tampa Bay Lightning. Another 7-game series, and I have the Lightning. I don't want to give it away, so I'm zooming in really close, but that brings us to Pittsburgh versus Tampa Bay. a rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals about 3-4 years ago when Pittsburgh won. Will history repeat itself? Then we got the Colorado Avalanche versus the Vancouver Canucks. Will the Cinderella story of the Canucks continue? No. The Avalanche beat them in 5 games, and they get revenge for the Blues after the Canucks upset the hockey world. Then we go Dallas-Edmonton. Will Dallas continue, or will Edmonton surprise? Will that continue? And Edmonton, surprisingly, goes to the conference finals, beats Dallas in 6 games once again. So we have the Colorado Avalanche versus the Dallas Stars in the Western Conference Final. In a hard-fought series between these two teams, in 6 games, the Pittsburgh Penguins move on to the Stanley Cup Finals. And in another hard-fought series, the Colorado Avalanche, also in 6 games, move on to the Stanley Cup Finals. Then we got the Stanley Cup Final, the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Colorado Avalanche. And in a crazy back-and-forth series, a 7-game series, the Stanley Cup champions, the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche get it done in 7 games and are your 2020 Stanley Cup, aka 2020 COVID Cup champs. So this is how the bracket looks, the full view. Comment what you guys think. A lot of upsets, but at the end, I have the team that a lot of people have, the Avalanche winning it all. Comment what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Pumped for the playoffs, and peace out.